Hey noobs, Mr. Frog here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Guardians of Eden, a new tower defense game published by Mango Party and developed by Black Cat Entertainment. The game is not censored by default on Steam, so no patches are necessary before playing. You can jump straight into the game right after installing. Guardians of Eden takes place in a world ravaged by a war between the divines and the demons. This war destroyed the majority of the planet, save for a small section named Eden, which is protected by a group of Valkyries who battle on the front line to keep humanity safe. In exchange for this, the Church of Eden sends a priest to the temple to serve and provide for all of the Valkyries' needs. The only issue here is that every priest the church sends seems to die within 10 years of serving there. In the game, you will play as the new priest tasked with replacing the previous one who has just passed away after serving their 10 years. What waits in store for you and whether or not you will suffer the same fate is left unclear, and as you progress through the game, you will learn more about the Valkyries and uncover this mystery. It is a surprisingly serious and more intense plot for an H game, but that isn't to say the game doesn't know how to have fun as well, as the game is often lighthearted and fun with an engaging cast of characters. Once arriving at the temple, you will meet 5 out of the 7 Valkyries. The other 2 will show up later in the game. The first thing you will notice upon meeting the Valkyries is that they are all, for the most part, monster girls. One of the later girls you will meet in the game is an elf, but for the most part you will mostly exclusively be romancing and interacting with monster girls in this game. So for those who are not too into monster girls, do be warned of this. If you don't mind this, or even better, if you do enjoy monster girls, then you will have plenty of options to choose from here. The characters are also very well written, and the scenes and interaction with all the girls are both charming and humorous. Each girl will have scenes of their own that can be unlocked through providing offerings and gifts to them. As you increase your devotion through these offerings and gifts, you will also increase their stats as well, since the women in this game actually serve as the towers as well. Which leads us into the gameplay aspect of Guardians of Eden. As previously mentioned, the game is a tower defense game. You must carefully and thoughtfully place your towers in strategic locations on each map to prevent waves of enemies from reaching the end of the path. Now, as mentioned, the girls themselves do serve as the towers here, and each of them have a unique action ability of their own as well. Proper timing and usage of these action abilities is critical to succeeding in each level, as they seem to be your main source of damage and crowd control to slow down the enemies. Due to this, it can be a bit chaotic at times, and definitely harder to play on the faster speeds, as you need to rotate around 7 of these different abilities all at once before the enemies can slip past each of the towers. This isn't necessarily to say it is a bad chaotic though, as it is definitely one of the more active gameplay tower defense games I've played, but it can feel a bit overwhelming at times, so do take note of this. I will say though, I do enjoy the hero ability based aspect that the game provides for the towers, but I would have liked to see some normal auto-attacking towers as well. If you do prefer a more relaxed experience though, the game does offer an easier difficulty option, so you can mostly just sit back and relax and enjoy the real content of this game, the H content. The H content in Guardians of Eden is plentiful and constant. As you can probably tell from the editing in this video, the Valkyries' outfits alone provide plenty to look at during the cutscenes. You will also occasionally unlock animated HCGs to view as well between each level that provide not only great scenes with each of the girls, but also reveal a bit of the lore at the same time as well. If there is a particular girl you are especially interested in, then you can focus on providing her offerings of food or gifts to increase your devotion with them. As you increase your devotion, you will then receive chances to spend the night with them as well, where you unlock H gameplay scenes where you must click around and find the right place to satisfy them. As you increase your relationship, you will then unlock different ways to satisfy the Valkyries in increasingly enjoyable ways, if you know what I mean. The food you provide to the Valkyries is obtained by earning ingredients through clearing levels. You can at first offer the girls raw ingredients for small devotion points, but eventually you will meet a character which will allow you to cook special dishes for additional higher points. In addition to offering food, you can also purchase gifts from another character you will meet. These gifts will decorate the girls' rooms and will earn you a massive amount of points, so do try to purchase these when you can. In addition to the gifts, this same merchant can also decipher certain scrolls you will find through your journey, which does become a major plot point in the game as well. Overall, Guardians of Eden offers a fun and engaging H tower defense experience. The gameplay is fast and action-packed, the characters are cute and well written, and the plot does a decent job at keeping you interested and engaged in the mysteries of its world. The only real caveats I could give here is that if you are not at all interested in Monster Girls or a more active tower defense gameplay, then you may find it a bit harder to enjoy the game. The game is also a bit on the shorter end, but it does come at a lower price point of only about around $10 USD on Steam, so I would say that's more than fair. With that being said, if any of that does sound appealing to you, then I definitely recommend giving this one a shot. And without further ado, Mr. Frog awards this game a very solid Mountain Dew sip of approval. Once again, thank you everyone for all the support, and if you'd like to see more H-Game content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to check out the Mr. Frog stream over on Twitch. Later, noobs.